Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to announce that Shorty September is going to be back for another year. As someone who's been watching and participating with the event since the beginning, I feel very honored to be part of the hosting team this year together with Heather and Karen. It was originally an idea of Bert of Storytime. He's taking a bit of a booktube hiatus. So last year he passed on the baton to Heather, and Heather has asked me and Karen to be part of the hosting team, to be her sidekicks. So here we are. I think most of you will have heard of Shorty September, or at least heard the name before, but if not, you are in for a treat. The Shorty September is a month-long reading event where we encourage people to read short books. That's it. It's really simple. You are allowed to choose for yourself what a short book is. I usually say 200 pages or less. Some people use a cutoff of 250 pages, or if you only read 500-page books on average, then 300 pages might feel short for you. Or maybe you think of short books as something you can read in one sitting, or maybe something with a lot of pictures in it, so reads quickly. But yeah, read short books in September and you're participating. You might not even realize you've done it before. It's that easy. But if you want a little more, if you want a little extra, we've got prompts. Of course we've got prompts. I'm gonna show you the prompts sheet in all its glory. I put it on the screen so you can have a look at it for a bit. Then I'll come back to me and we're gonna go through all the prompts one by one. The design is all done by Heather because she's the artist of the group. Just for funsies, go and ask if she can show you her nanny shoes or the nanny shoes. So all the prompts are based on different types of shorts, the clothing item. Some of these prompts are familiar if you've done Shorty September before. They're going to be old favorites. Some of them are new. You think after 5 years we'd run out of ideas for prompts. I mean, there's only so many types of shorts. But no, we've thought of some good ones, if I say so myself. Okay, let's go through them. First, we've got the crochet shorts, which is going for a homemade vibe. So this is a book by an indie publisher or a book that's self-published. We've got the hometown shorts. When you go cheering on your local sports team. It's a book by a local author or a book that's set locally. Of course, you can decide what local is, like your town or your region or your state, but I would say at least a little bit more specific than just the country you're from. And if you don't live in the same country you are from, you can pick which one. That's your prerogative. Next up, we've got zip-off shorts. You're out and about, you don't mind the weather, because you can zip your shorts off and off again. So you can just stay out all day. So this is to read a book with an outdoorsy, naturey vibe. Then we've got the postal short, which is one of my favorite new ones. Look at those dapper guys, gals and non-binary pals, the postal workers. Their uniform won't be the same all over the world, but I'm sure that shorts will be part of their uniform anywhere, delivering all your letters and packages. And this is to read a book that is set in a country that you would like to have a pen pal in. Have a think about that. We've got hairy shorts. This is our tribute to Maisie, Heather's wonderful old greyhound lady who's no longer with us. She was truly the bestest girl ever, and yeah, we miss her. So we had to have a prompt in her honor. So we've got hairy shorts, which is a thing. And this is to read a book with a significant animal character, or maybe a book that you would recommend to your pet if your pet could read. Then moving on to cargo shorts. These are obviously very practical. They've got lots of pockets where you can put in everything you need. This is a book that could be helpful in a pickle. So what does that even mean? Well, if you are in an unfortunate situation, you might want to read something that's comfortable or comforting, something that gives you hope, something that cheers you up, something that gives you good advice, that teaches you something helpful. You know, see the vibes I'm going for here? Or it could just be like a really bad book and think, well, at least now I've got kindling. Next, we've got the ripped shorts. This is an oldie but a goodie, and to read a mystery, thriller or horror book, you know, very straightforward. Another classic prompt, the denim shorts. This used to be to read a book from the 70s or 80s, but we've broadened it a bit to read a modern classic. You know, whatever you think a modern classic is, I usually think of it as anything from the 20th century, but if you disagree, that's fine. Again, there's not really any rules here. Then next we have half and half shorts, making another comeback. This is to read a book and then watch the movie adaptation or the TV adaptation, or go wild and watch something first and then read the book, you know, if you're so inclined. We've got the runway fashion shorts, which is another one of my personal favorites, which is to read a book in translation. I feel like there's so many good translated shorties out there, so you'll have loads to pick from. And then, well, when you're trying to think of ideas for shorties, you might Google a bit, and you might come across this picture of Elton John on the night before his first wedding. You know, look at those legs, look at those itty bitty shorts. So this is to read something a little saucy, a little outrageous, you know, go on, treat yourself. And finally, we've got patchwork shorts. Shorts that are made out of different kinds of fabric patched together, like how some books can be different types of genres patched together. So this is to read a genre blend book. So yeah, that's all the shorties. I'm gonna put some things in the description box. Of course, check out Heather's and Karen's bookshelf channels. There's an Instagram, there's a storygraph challenge, there's a Google Drive with all the graphics. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you that there's also a sticker book. Well, not like actual stickers, we're not so fancy that we have merch. But there's a little print out for like a little fold-up sticker book and a sticker sheet, so that you, whenever you finish a prompt, you can put a little sticker in your sticker book. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. Alright, that's it. Now all we have to do is wait for September, and in the meantime you can tell me all your favorite short books, you can tell me what shorties you are looking forward to read, and yeah, make sure to follow Heather, Karen and me, because we're all planning to do some shorty recommendation videos and, you know, some other fun stuff. So it's gonna be good. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.